Coming up next is Indie News number 119. It's an all Indie update on Indie News, and we're going to be going around the world and covering different aspects of Indie News, including going to Riverdale and boardroom shenanigans at the Archie Company. We're going to go to Tokyo, and we're going to look at the half-century war that IDW is bringing us, and we're going to wrap up over in merry old England with Steve and Mrs. Peel and the Hellfire Club. All that and more coming right up.
Indie News with Bo and Comic Book Man. Cue it up.
At this point, we'll skip the fame, go straight to the fortune. Indie Comic Book News, episode 119, Prenatal Perp. Look out!
Hey!
Is everybody okay?
Oh, my arm! Oh! Call the ambulance!
Call a lawyer.
Okay, how are we? Are we still okay?
We're fine.
Okay. And, hey folks, Comic Book Man here. Welcome once again to my video outhouse. It's time for
Indie News.
Indie News! Indie News, which is coming to you from this place, Alternate Reality, which is located at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood. Alternate Reality, where all new comics are always 15% off every day for everyone. This is an across-the-board, all indie update for Indie News, and we're going to start off with Archie Comics. Archie Comics has had a long problem, which we've talked about in the past, with Nancy, what's her name? Silberkite, the co-CEO of Archie, and some of the problems that she has had.
The nut wanders the halls and yells at everyone.
Screams at everyone. At Archie proper. Bo,
yeah.
What's going on with Nancy and Archie and all the gang?
Well, the feud for the control of Archie Comics is over, and she has been reinstated.
Yay!
She was accused of terrorizing employees. Basically, the judge, when he got to a certain point, she told both of them, look, if the two of you can't get along, it makes more sense to break the company up. And apparently common sense came together. They went, if we break up the company, then we'll never be heard from again.
Yeah.
So let's make up!
Let's make up. And so they made up.
Now it's not completely over.
And now she's back to terrorizing employees.
Well, no, actually she's in charge of media options and teaching, which means she doesn't really have to go to the offices. Yeah, they use Archie as teaching stuff.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot to learn about Archie and Kevin. And
Although it's not completely over, because the daughters of deceased co-owner Richard Goldwater are now accusing John Goldwater, his son, and Silberkite of robbing the company blind. So now they're going, you two are scum! And the judge went, that's nice. It's got nothing to do with the case you're working on. If you want to file a case, go right ahead. But we're done with this case and go back to work. Get at it. Beat it.
Okay.
sounds like a super place to work.
Okay, from Archie, moving over to Boom Comics.
Excuse me.
Recently, Boom Comics brought back a miniseries called Steve and Mrs. Peel, which originally ran, I think, at Now Comics. I could be wrong.
It was Grant Morrison and Ian Gibson, I believe.
I could be wrong about that. It might have been Innovation, I forget. But
so many companies.
They recently brought it back and reprinted the entire series. A lot of people thought it was new, but it wasn't. But it is coming back as a new series.
It's going to be an ongoing series from Boom. It'll be co-written by Mark Waid.
Mark Waid.
It's going to be called
Who's Evil?
Who's Evil. So, he's hanging out. He's going back to the Boom family, even though he's picking up extra work at Marvel. But Steve and Peel will have the key characters from the Avengers. The series will be co-written by Hunter's Fortune's Caleb Monroe. It'll have art from Athena Voltaire's Steve Bryant.
Okay.
Now, and the villains for the first arc are the Hellfire Club.
The Hellfire Club.
Oh.
Which were introduced on the Avengers, and then Chris Claremont went, you know, that seems really, really cool. Then Marvel took it, and now people go, boy, where's Emma Frost?
For those of you who are X-Men fans, are saying, wait a minute, yeah, they originally showed up in the TV series The Avengers, the Hellfire
It's like 19. In fact, someone actually figured out the exact episode. It's like the episode, what it's called, and everything.
It's a black and white episode.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where it runs at in the series. It's Diana Riggs, his companion,
his partner
at that point in the series, and it's a black and white episode.
Yeah.
I think that's the only time they ever showed up. But
that was the
Hellfire Club.
Yeah, but they're going to be the villain for the first arc, and Wade's basically there to make sure people go, well, Wade's working on it. Let's keep playing.
And of course, the reason everybody remembers that is Emma Peel is in a dominatrix outfit running around with a great big dog collar with spikes coming out of it. What's not to remember?
Emma did fill out that outfit kind of unusual.
Yes, she did. And to wrap things up, we're going to go to Tokyo, where Godzilla
is always around.
Does he
ever leave them alone?
Godzilla has a war that's been going on for half a century. Who would have thought?
Well, Orkstein's James Stockhouse is going to write and draw a 5-issue limited series called Godzilla: The Half-Century War for IDW. The book is going to take place over a 50-year period and revolve around a policeman who has an obsession with Godzilla.
A 50-year obsession.
A 50-year obsession. It's going to visit little points in time in Godzilla's life. So it's taking place over a 10-year period.
A policeman?
A policeman.
A 10-year period or a 50-year period?
50-year period.
So you're gonna be
Apparently
handcuffs.
in the series, when he's first introduced, he's like a soldier. In 1954, when Godzilla finally attacks, and he keeps getting older, and IDW's actually picked up the rights to a whole bunch of Toho monsters that they weren't able to get before. So you'll be seeing a lot of that.
You're under arrest, guys.
All those folks.
Ghidra.
King
Ghidra.
Ghidra. They got a right for
Mecha Godzilla.
Little Hydra.
And Stocko said, I'll be love to do something with them, so I'll come back.
Sweater.
Flop Sweater is always my favorite.
And that's it.
And Godzuki.
And that's it. We're done. We'll finish her out of here. We got no more indie news. But go to the store's website,
Bring
check
something
out
up.
all the indie news Bo sends me that I post up. Bo?
Yes.
Please.
Sarah, who's a personal friend of Godzuki's, tell him.
I happen to know Comic Book Man spent a lot of time in high school between the principal's office and stuffed in his gym locker. www.myalternatelreality.com.
So go to the store's website, check out all of his news, and until next time, this is Comic Book Man.
And this is not Godzilla.
Saying, you know, I've watched that Mrs. Peel episode in the Hellfire Club like 50 times alone at night in the dark. It's wonderful.
That's more information
Very
than you need to
comforting.
know.
Bye! Hey, you want to save 20% off of everything in the store? Then show up on the 20th of every month, because the 20th is Founders Day here at Alternate Reality. And on Founders Day, everything except this week's new comics and bulk supplies is 20% off. That's right, every single thing in the store is 20% off every 20th here at Alternate Reality.
The Video Outhouse is brought to you by some of the finest people willing to work for free. This is a list of some of them.